Hey guys, how you doing? My name's Jose Pablo Cantillo. You might know me from The Walking Dead, Season 3, a little bit of Season 4. I played a character named Martinez, who was on his way to, I shouldn't say be a good guy, I think he was always at heart being a good guy, but I think he was trying to realize his potential. And I'm sitting with...
I'm Caleb.
Caleb and...
Micah. And we're actually brothers. We
Ah,
are.
we're sitting with the brothers, and you guys do something cool here. What is the name of your business here? What do you guys do?
This is JNCM Media.
JNCM Media.
Yeah, we're trying to think of a new name. It's
a
it's
work in
just our
progress.
initials.
And what is it that you guys like to do with this green screen? Like, what's the point of it? What do you guys...
Basically, we just invite people over, and one of our buddies, Jesse, who's kind of runs it, he has developed a bunch of backgrounds.
Okay.
So we can superimpose people over these different environments. And it's useful for cons because people come in their costumes all the time. So they actually kind of become the character. Just kind of give them a cool experience. That's something you don't see a lot, I guess.
And what's the best background combination with, like, cool fans that have come through that you guys have had?
Right now it's been the explosion. Like, we've got like a flaming building background in like an apocalyptic urban area. So that's been pretty much fan favorite.
And you've had some good walkers come through?
We've actually not had any. We actually had people from Last of Us. You know the game Last of Us. Joel, the main character, and a secondary character. They were dressed up and they wanted to look like they were all alone in an alley. And we took the flames out and darkened it a little bit.
Well, I can't wait to see it.
We'll post a lot of these on our Facebook.
And I understand that you guys watch the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it doesn't have to be about Walking Dead. But I'm a pretty open book. What kind of questions do you guys have?
Well,
and I'll hand this to whoever asks the question.
Well, I was gonna say one thing is you said earlier that you worked in theater and and that's where you got your start. And I was just wondering what was probably one of your one thing that really made you want to actually go after acting as a
In film?
and actually in stage or film. I mean,
Well, I started at Indiana University. I got my degree in business from the Kelley School of Business at Indiana University. And, you know, it's funny, but studying business at that level, all of the classes in the schedule were pretty much prescribed because it was such a very competitive track. The only thing that you could kind of like have some choice was either speech or theater. And I took theater. I wanted to see some different faces and all. You know, it's the college experience, you know, with the same very talented 26 people. And I went to this big university. Let me meet some new people. So I went to theater, and there were all these kids sitting in a circle, like making sounds and pretending to be animals and stuff. And I was like, this is not for me. You know, I've been studying finance and marketing and and accounting. And finance is about pro forma, projections, looking forward. And accounting was always about looking back. But what I realized that what these people were doing is that they were expressing themselves and telling a story and interacting without words so that we don't get caught up in words, but through movements and sounds that were going to bring you into the present. And I said, so theater is really a study of operating in the moment and in the present and telling a story by taking place in the imaginary circumstances of the world. And it's very, very addictive because it's a study of human interaction. And story, it really tells us, hey, you know, as an audience member or to the community, it's a great service to say, hey, you know, you're not alone. You know, and that was very fascinating to me, is that maybe if I could apply myself and my will in a story, there could be an audience member that's connected to me and saying, I feel you, you know, and I'm not alone. So that was it for me in terms of going into it. And I did that in New York. And then Law and Order, you know, was my first start where I got paid to act on TV, which was really cool. And my first film that took me to California was a movie called Shackles, where I played this spoken word gifted poet named Gabriel Garcia Frassoni. And thank goodness I've been able to stick around and work pretty consistently for the last 10 years when I started.
yeah.
So that's my journey, starting in theater to film.
Well, I was gonna say, first film I ever saw you in was Crank.
Crank, yeah.
Yeah, Crank. You injecting the Beijing cocktail into Jason Statham's neck.
The Chinese.
Yeah, the Chinese. Yeah, exactly. And that's it was your raw intensity and it's just your energetic personality that really made me just like this guy's cool. I like it. And that's why every time I see you in a film, I always feel the same energy, and
That's nice.
It's like it hasn't changed over the last 10 years. You're still as exciting. You still got that.
Hopefully better. No, I was just gonna say that it was funny about Crank was that did you guys see it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like Neville Dean and Taylor, the writer-directors of that movie, they're crazy and they're hilarious. They have a great sense of humor and they have a fantastic shooting style. And they really wanted. I remember when I went in for the audition, I just felt like Verona. I just went for it, and they're like, "Wow, you're so over the top with it." And there's an exercise you could do, which is just trying to be a big bad actor, like just be bad, purposely bad. And that's the way I tried to approach Verona. And so I felt very uncomfortable the whole time I was playing Verona on Crank. And they're like, "Trust me, it's okay. It's right because it's pushing the Chelios character in a way that really earns him ripping apart the whole city, looking for you." And I was like, okay. And then when I saw it, I got to say, I was like, you know what? I was happy that we found a tone that I would never have really imagined would work, and it stretched me in a good way to not be afraid to quote unquote commit to being bad.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's like it's not really bad about committing to be bad. It's really saying, okay, this is the language and the behavior, no matter how quote unquote big it is. It just means you really have to be more committed.
Yeah.
And be not big with it, but it's very committed. If Ricky Verona threatens, he doesn't threaten at a level 5. Like he threatens at a level 12.
Yeah.
And then he comes down to maybe a 9, but never. He just stays up there.
He never goes middling.
And it's scary because you just like, well, is it one? No. And it's like, no, but the circumstance and the stakes were there.
Yeah.
This guy's he kills your brother, he's coming for you. So that was a fun movie, Crank, to do, and Verona, that role. And I'd love to do another one that's so big and over the top.
Well, speaking of big and over the top, Elysium, guys, you actually saw it before me.
Yeah, we did.
And he was actually talking about the next movie that he's making with Neil Blomkamp and Charlton Copley.
Yeah.
And it was called
Chappie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chappie is a movie by Neil Blomkamp. He did Elysium in District 9, and I played this character named Sandro in Elysium and had a lot of fun doing so. And in the audition process, just got to improv a lot. And it was kind of loose, but yet, the world that he created, even just for the audition, the sense that you got was that there was something very, you want to say specific, of course, but there was just something really new and different and very visceral. With what Sandro does with his tools. And anyway, he puts all that armor on Matt Damon's character. So I just did another movie with Neil. I was very lucky that he included me in his next one called Chappie. We shot in South Africa for 3 months, and I think it's going to be pretty awesome. It comes out next March.
I'm excited because I kind of wanted to see what was going on. I loved you on The Walking Dead, so it's like, what's next?
Yeah.
So that's cool. I'll definitely have to figure that out.
Well, cool. That's what you guys can watch me and check out next. And there's a movie called Solace that I did last summer that comes out sometime this year with Colin Farrell and Sir Anthony Hopkins, which was really amazing.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And Alfonso Poyart, who did Two Rabbits or Dos Conejos, which is really cool. But look for those, and thanks for having me come through.
Hey,
and success on the site. And if you guys need anything, let me know.
Yeah,
Cool. Thanks, man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.